Okay, please wrap up the interviews here with Kevin and Denny, and we're going to get started with Chase. So we have a few more drivers to come into the bullpen. They may be coming during this formal availability with our Champ 4. If you need them, it's looking like Chase Briscoe, William Byron, Justin Haley, and Eric Jones, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We can do those out in the lobby here. But we're joined now by one of our Championship 4 drivers, and that's the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion, Chase Elliott. We'll get right to questions. If you have one, please raise your hand. We have mic runners. Who wants to open up with Chase Elliott? We'll start with Zach here, and then go to Colt.
Zach Sterniolo with NASCAR.com. Chase, I'm curious, just through practice now, through qualifying, where do you feel like you guys are set for tomorrow's race?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just kind of ready to go from the standpoint of just it's a lot of times I think it's kind of hard to tell where you're at and what you have and how the race is going to unfold until the race unfolds. So, yeah, just ready to get tomorrow rolling and try to execute a perfect day. That's all we can do now. So I was pretty pleased with our qualifying effort. I thought we went faster than we did yesterday for a one lap pace. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. Hopefully it holds on tomorrow and we can have a good day.
Cool.
Cole Cusimano with the Arizona Republic. Chase, you won the championship here in 2020, obviously, with the neon yellow 9 for Jimmy's retirement. Noticed the neon 9s on the car again this weekend. What was the decision behind that, and I guess who made that decision?
I have no idea.
No?
I don't know. I just saw them when we got here.
Okay.
So.
Any more questions for Chase? Go to Bob.
Bob Hawkins, Fox Sports. Is there anything that you view this race that could be more unique than the other championship races you've been in here?
I don't think so. I mean, for me personally, it's still a great opportunity, and all of the things that I feel like have applied to me personally and how I've viewed the week and gone about it the past 2 years, I feel the same. So I don't really feel like there's anything that stands out a ton to me personally, or at least that's going to change my view on it right now.
Go to Holly, then Jeff.
Hey, Chase. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. What are your expectations of this race? We talked to you guys about a million other things because it's the last race of the season, but actually in the car itself, what are your expectations of how it would go down?
I don't know. I mean, I think at this point in the year, with all the crazy things that we've seen, I'm not sure anything should really surprise us anymore, regardless of what it is. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I have a really hard time sitting here and trying to dissect what's going to happen in the future. I don't know. We'll do our homework tonight and give it our best shot tomorrow, and we'll hope we can get the job done. I mean, that's all I can do, and I feel like we've done a good job as a team throughout the week controlling the things that we have directly in front of us and in our hands, and frankly, that's all I can really do. So we're about as ready as we're going to get for tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jeff?
Once you get done debriefing or whatever you have to do here the rest of the day, what do? You watch the Xfinity race? You go for a hike? How do you spend the day before a championship race?
Well, the dogs have a big game going on right now, so I was going to check up on them here in a minute and see how that's going on. And I'm going to watch the race and, see if anything super surprising happens from a track perspective. Maybe guys picking up on something today that you might apply tomorrow. But, yeah, for the most part, normal Saturday for me and going to enjoy that.
Go up here to the front left.
Hi, Chase. Adam Carabine from RacingRefresh.com. It seems like you're like ready to go get racing. It's almost like if the race were right now, you'd be almost happier. How hard is the waiting period this week, just leading up to this like last race and then finally the off season?
Yeah, I mean, that's every week though, right? You got 6 or 7 days in between all these things, so it's not like we can race on Sunday and then we have a midweek race typically or anything like that. Sometimes I wish we did. I feel like it would be kind of cool, but yeah, that's pretty normal. I mean, honestly, the week went by pretty quick. It was a pretty short week because we had media and stuff on Tuesday, and we still had our regular meetings from a competition standpoint, and then we had to be out here early for media again on Thursday. So yeah, no, it's been fun, and I think from a driver's standpoint, obviously still being in the playoffs at this point in the season is a great accomplishment and something that as a team I'm super proud of all of us for achieving that, but it's not the end goal. So it's you got to balance that a little bit, and I feel like we're very hungry and we want to go give it our best effort tomorrow, and that's what we intend to do.
Back up here to Zach.
I feel like you seem to be in a lighter mood than maybe other championship weekends or maybe even other weeks throughout the course of the season. On paper, it looks like you guys have had maybe the least momentum that you've had all season. What is your mindset, and can you explain kind of just what the last week leading into what this weekend has been like?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on what the week has been like leading in, so that's really what the week has been for me, and yeah, I mean, I think my response to the first part of your question is the story's not over, right? We're still right in the last chapter. So the last 9 weeks, in my view, are extremely irrelevant as it pertains to what happens tomorrow. So the narrative is there for the writing, and it's our opportunity and our job to make sure it goes our way.
And we'll wrap up here with Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. I'm curious, talking with your dad the other day, he referenced in one sense just how time seems to go by so quickly. He says he thinks back to Indianapolis and says, look, that was 20 years ago, and he was next to me in Victory Lane, and we're kissing the bricks, and he's like, what are you doing that for? And he says it's just about how time passages, and I'm just curious, when you think about 20 years from that moment, and especially that's a big moment for a lot of fans who saw you, how do you view from that moment to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, I think he touched on it, right? I mean, time just goes by so fast. I mean, I'm approaching my 7th year, the end of my 7th season in Cup. I mean, that for me, that always puts it in perspective as just to how fast time has gone by, especially since I've been doing the NASCAR thing full time since 2014. And I don't know. I mean, I assume that's the case as you get older, regardless of what you do. I know since I got out of high school, things have just gone by faster and faster and faster every year, and it becomes very difficult to enjoy a lot of things, right? Because there's I want to do well, I want to do my job, and I think you have to mentally be where you need to be to do that, and I think sometimes that can take away from being able to enjoy certain moments or certain instances, but I try really hard to, because I know you're not going to get this time back and you're not going to get these years back, and I certainly respect that aspect of life and how fragile it can be, frankly. So I'm super proud of where we're at as a team. I've enjoyed being able to have the opportunity to go to these races with my family. We've been able to live this for many years. That's not something I take for granted. We've experienced some incredible moments as a family that I would have never dreamed that could have ever happened, and I'm sure they didn't either. So I admire those things. I respect those things. I try to enjoy them the best I can, while also trying to make sure I'm doing my part for my team and living here and right now. And that can be a tough balance for anybody, I think, regardless of what you do or what your job is. But and I don't think that's any different for me or what we do here.
And one other thing he mentioned is he talked about one of the more special moments is when you guys were in Colorado and your go-kart racing, and just like there was no pressure, it was all about fun. Your mom even talked about, hey, look, race in the rain, race in the snow, it didn't matter, and even got together with people and just a good times. What is that kind of what does that period mean for you? And that was what you were at, 8 to 10 or 7.
Yeah, I was probably 11 or 10, maybe 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there.
So what is that?
So,
Are there particular memories of that, or
Yeah.
what kind of stands out? Because it's certainly something special to your parents, especially your dad, because it was something he brought up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a unique point, I guess, in his life too, because he had decided he wanted to quit racing full time, and that was when he and mom decided we wanted to move to Colorado. And obviously that's a big transition for any family, going from the East Coast all the way out there and living out west. And but it was a transition that I think we were all willing to do. Obviously I didn't have much of a say. I'm a child, but I was along for the ride. But I did really enjoy my time, and I'm glad we did it. Racing was not as popular, I guess, out there as what it was back east, or closer to Georgia. So yeah, racing go-karts was kind of the only thing. And there was a track out in Grand Junction. There was a couple tracks, 2 or 3 tracks out in Denver. And basically, they would have like a state championship type thing, and you would go and you would run all those tracks inside the state. And we did that for a couple summers and had a blast doing it. A couple really fun years of being out there. And Dad was, I guess, thinking he was retired at the time, I guess, and just enjoyed being Dad, enjoyed going to the racetrack and us racing together and working on the go-karts and cleaning trailers and all the things that come along with it. So yeah, they were special years, and certainly glad I have them to look back on. Yep.
Well, thank you, Chase. Have a great night tonight. Rest
Thanks.
up, and good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. We have Chase Briscoe in the room right now. I'm told William Byron's also on his way, but so is Christopher Bell. So if you need either Chase or William, we'll do it outside the hall here, outside the deadline room, and Christopher Bell should be here shortly, as will Ross Sustain.